Greetings, travelers. Uh-oh. Camera not working. One sec. Make sure it's focused. Good, good. Good morning. How we all doing? Another day into Goldbound. Another day into the lock Modan. Let's go. We've got movement, boys. We do. We got the coffee as well. True to the stream title. So cheers. A little iced coffee. Start the day off right. Get out here. I might actually equip some Darkmoon Faire water just to start doing some chill laps. And swap off this as well. Boom. Greetings from Norway. Love the content. Greetings, traveler. From Norway. Wow. Greetings from Canada. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's see. We'll do some herbs and ore while we kind of get started on a rare loop here. Get after it. I am pretty happy with how much Transmog we've kind of stockpiled across Modan. So perhaps some trade goods would do us good. Just in time. Hello, hello. Greetings, travelers. Gonna do some adulting, but be lurking. All right, all right. Yep, yep. Let's see what the rares are doing. Hopefully, we can get some timers on them. Here we go. So, Gosh Haldir. Of course, the Lock Croc Hide Vest is kind of like the go-to here. So far, 15 kills in. No loot. We did get the Bard's leg plates again, though, but that is what we are actually wearing right now, so we don't have to go too crazy on that. Afternoon, afternoon, evening. We got morning, we got evening, and afternoon. We're covering all the time zones right now, travelers. We're all set. Don't forget the Lock Modan report. Working on the Lock Modan report as we speak. We're, well, actually, technically, we were working in the Lock Modan report earlier this morning. One sec, I'm gonna move my camera there since we're not playing Classic today. I was working on the Lock Modan report this morning, which is basically the YouTube video. So that'll be tomorrow, that'll go live tomorrow. But I guess that would be the Lock Modan report. This would be the edited one. You can actually play at the same time while listening and watching. Let's go. Fridays, you know, have a little more flexibility sometimes that way, so that's hype. We'll keep it farming, keep it going. Great timing. Literally just watched the Dead Mines run from yesterday's VOD. Let's go. Let's go. That was a good run. We were locked in, loaded. Looking forward to the next adventures on Patherics. Yeah. No, so far so good. I've been having a lot of fun kind of jumping back into hardcore classic WoW. It's a very different vibe than retail, right? Especially, well, a very different vibe than regular retail. A moderately different vibe than the kind of retail I play, because to be fair, I literally am in Lock Modan. Like, I'm in the classic zones right now on retail. But you know what I mean. We're not really worried about our death today. We're just trying to make gold. I will be keeping an eye on my Darkmoon fishing cap. I already did it like first thing this morning. Actually, I think I've already gotten 3 casts out of it this morning while I was editing. Kind of min-max. But for our own supply, I might actually pop over to the Darkmoon Faire today just to get some Darkmoon Faire water like for our own stock, because I think we're gonna run out of the ones that we're getting from the hat. And it's always good to have some of our own in the bank. So that could be pretty good. Oh wow. Pretty much every rare spawn is up this morning. That's good. Love getting home from work to watch your favorite streamer. Appreciate that. Let's go. We're locked in for a good day here. Just getting started, so just in time. Nerdy one, Hiya Path and Travelers. How did the race locked pally go last night? It was good. We had a good time, yeah. It was a later stream than normal because I had the dentist in the morning. But we did well. Yeah, been having a lot of fun on Patherics, the hardcore paladin. We're taking that character all the way, guys. We're taking that character all the way. Mark my words. But no, that was really good. I figure while we're doing some ore loops, I may as well give a test. See if we can't get the Mogrash drops here this morning. See if we can't. Sure, I've covered this, but where does Patherics come from? The name. The name, well, like originally Patherics was just my first ever full World of Warcraft character. I do preface it by saying full, because I made a World of Warcraft character before on a free trial account, I think. And that character was a gnome mage named Faltox. But my first character on my actual account that I played was Patherics. And I think it was just like the World of Warcraft character generation screen where you can go like randomize name. I think I got a name and I changed a couple things about it. Like I think I would have gotten like Pathanax or Pathoneriax or something. And I just changed a couple letters around and got Patherics. And it's been my kind of like online alias ever since. So it really is just coming down to my first World of Warcraft character ever. Besides that, it wasn't really inspired by anything in particular. I just liked how it sounded. And then when I was questing back in the day, people would call me Path. And I kind of liked that. That was kind of cool. And now I'm Patherics. Yep. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much how it goes. I think the nice thing is, though, on the Warcraft Armory, well, I used to only be the only Patherics. Let me see here. Do you guys also have the thing whenever you Google World of Warcraft Armory, you just get like the Armory character? Like the guy whose name is Armory? Yeah, so I'm not the only Patherics anymore, but for the longest time I was. Like there's no one else with that name. I think because I just did like a randomized name and I changed a few things. I think if you do... I don't know. I don't really know how the randomization works, but if you randomize your name, is it possible that someone else could get the same randomized name? Surely it's like there's a finite amount of randomized names that they can come up with. But yeah, until recently, I was the only Patherics. Did I ever really get into PvP in the Paladin? I did, yeah. I actually... PvP was like a big portion of what I played for quite a few years. I was never particularly high ranked, high rated. I think that my best ratings were like 2 to 2200. I don't know if I ever got the 2200 achievements though in PvP. I think I got it in RBGs, but not like 3s. But I really liked PvP. I have historically been a very, like, as far as current content goes...
Have never played WoW, but enjoying this challenge.
Yo! Llama Zero, appreciate the prime. Never played WoW, but enjoying the challenge. That's cool, actually. So never even once, wow. That's cool. Well, hope you're enjoying seeing into the game and kind of like different vibes about the game. I wonder what it would be like from the lens of never playing before. That's cool. Perpetrator, what's more profitable to you? Watching on Twitch or YouTube? I think it works out to both the same. Like, as far as the average view, yeah. Twitch is nice, though, because, like with Llama Zero there, like, I got the Twitch Primes. But other than that, whichever streaming provider you prefer, that's good to go. That's where you should watch. We do have new, on both Twitch and YouTube, we have new loyalty badges now. So it should go from Copper Ore for like 1 month sub, to Tin Ore, to Gold Ore, to Thorium Ore, to Arcane Crystal for a year, I think. And then once we're streaming longer than a year, we'll have to like add on more. Because it's impossible to have more than a 1 year badge right now. It's impossible to have a 1 year badge right now. Come September. Boom! Alright guys, that's the stream for today. We got our drop. We got the drop, the Rodentia shortsword. GG. Let's go. Starting off with some gold, guys. I have 1 on the auction house. What I will say, you know, the stats page here with TSM doesn't lie. This is my 3rd drop of the Rodentia shortsword. I have 1 on Goldy, and I have 1 in the auction house. What does that tell you about the 3rd one? What does that tell you about the 3rd one? We like the Rodentia shortswords, guys. We like them. What does it look like? Kind of like a stubby little... Honestly, if you picture a rat holding a sword, that's probably the sword I would picture. Like, our axes are pretty much as long as it. That'd be crazy. Just turn off stream, done. Guys, we're not done. We're not done. We're just getting started, actually. It's just a nice drop. We'll keep it in the bag, because at the end of the day, I do want to do a bag appraiser. We have this new add-on, which shows how much gold is in our bags. That's like 17k. That's like the majority of the gold in our bags is from that right now. And that's based on global average sale. Like the global sale average. So if we look at the item here, first and foremost, can we just take a moment to appreciate the region average daily sold and the average sale value? Like this is a unicorn piece of Transmog, where it has a 17k average sale and a 0.023 region average sale, and it's a white item. Like that's insane. So just a moment to appreciate that. But yeah, so I have it set for the appraisal to the region sale average, which is like realistically the best number to approximate on average what we'll get from each Transmog piece. Because you could claim this is 87k based on market value average, but chances are you're going to get 17k for it. Like, that's like the value of it. So at the end of the day, we'll add up all we have here. I don't actually have anything in my warband bank. It just doesn't realize I took it out, I don't think. What's the name of the add-on that gives the alarm? That is Loot Appraiser, linked with Trade Skill Master. If you do want to see a bit more of a deep dive on my add-ons, though, I did make a video about it. I'll drop that link there. I kind of go over my main gold farming add-ons and kind of how I set them up with those things. So if you're a little more interested in getting that set up there, that will be the video for that. Speaking of add-ons, I do want to get farming bar going. Yeah, no, I love Loot Appraiser and Trade Skill Master. Trade Skill Master kind of just ends up plugging into like pretty much every gold add-on you want. Like this bag appraiser we were talking about, it just plugs in with Loot Appraiser values. Alright, Rodentia Shortsword is on the trophy for the day. Let's go. So we're nearing the end of the rare spawn loop. Very good. how long have I been into powerlifting, and am I planning on doing or trying out for regionals or nationals? My first powerlifting meet I think was in 2014. So I guess 12 years I've been officially like competing in powerlifting, but I competed once and then had like a 5-year hiatus, and then I started competing again probably like a lot more competitively in 2021 in the IPF. The other one was kind of like a backyard powerlifting league a little bit. And I have done nationals and regionals. I competed at 2024 CPU Nats. I am competing in provincials in like 4 months for Alberta. Or for the Alberta provincials, and I'm going to be trying to qualify for the nationals at provincials. Kind of how it works with powerlifting is it doesn't matter if you win provincials or how you place at provincials. Each year they set a standard, and if you hit a total, if you like meet this total amount of weight lifted in a meet, like a sanctioned meet, then you're invited to go. The standards have gotten pretty freaking crazy, guys. Like right now, I'm technically, like my best total right now wouldn't qualify me for nationals. So I gotta hit some PRs if I want to go to nationals again, because they've increased the standard of the last 2 years, and so I no longer am qualified for it. So so long answer, or short answer, yes. I will be trying to compete at Nats. If I don't, my plan is if I don't qualify for nationals at provincials, I'm probably going to compete at like regionals at Westerns. If I do qualify for nationals at provincials, I'll just volunteer and come hang out at Westerns. Western nationals. There's a chest in here. A silver-bound treasure chest. Can powerlifting be lucrative, or is it really only a side hustle unless you're the best of the best? Pretty much that. Kind of the way powerlifting can be lucrative is to literally be like the best of the best setting world records, or you can... Basically the way to become like a full-time powerlifter would be to basically be a powerlifting influencer. Right? Like you're not going to be supporting yourself off of competition winnings. But if you're well known enough in powerlifting, you might, be able to build up a good following and maybe do coaching online, stuff like that. Yo, Namus with a Twitch Prime, subscribed for 4 months. Greetings, traveler. Yeah, Canada's getting really strong for powerlifting. Like we have some really good athletes here now, coming out of the woodwork. I started powerlifting when you were at your peak in 2014. 805 kg total. That's what weight class were you? That's really good total. Well, it doesn't matter what weight class. Even if you were open, that's a really good total. Never tried out for nationals though. Are you in the U.S.? Because nationals is like, I think qualifying for U.S. nationals is considerably harder than qualifying for Canadian nationals. Norway? Gee, that's a big total. Norway has some really good powerlifters too. Saiku, greetings, traveler. 105 kg at the time. Yeah. 805 at 105, that's very impressive. That's some big numbers right there. Oh. Mooric Diary. Right, greetings, traveler. Almost on time this time. Well, technically, you're right on time. We just kind of started a little early. Technically speaking. Yeah, I was at the dentist yesterday. It's pretty good, but like a little sore. Hopefully it's all good. Saiku, I think he's talking about his weight in kilos. I'd be very impressed if you. I would be more impressed if you were 105 years old and totaling 805 kilos. To be fair, but like that would be crazy. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens for Canadian probs, Westerns, and then Nats this year. I'm a little more focused on strongman this year for competitions. But I think powerlifting is a good way to kind of keep the sword sharpened, you know what I mean? You know, the best warrior is one who isn't too far out of battle. Something like that. I don't know if that's a quote, I just made that up, guys, but you can quote me on it. The best warrior is one who isn't too far out of battle. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be kind of treating the powerlifting competitions as like tune-up meets for strongman. Train with Aldrich Haugen. He had the world record in barrel throwing. That's cool. I'll have to take a look at him. What farms we doing in Loch Modan today? I'm definitely trying to get a few more of these rare items, but I also do need a bit more consistent gold. So I got Darkmoon Faire water up right now. I'm doing a little bit of you know, dual gathering just to get some coin going. As far as consistent gold goes. But I kind of also want to stock up on Darkmoon Faire water. So I'll be using my Darkmoon pad off cooldown, but we actually might end up going Darkmoon Faire to like stock up a personal supply of fire water. That way I can just like keep using the hat off cooldown and just sell the ones I get from the hat. But have my own supply in the bank from Darkmoon Faire water straight from the shores. Twin-bladed axe of the Aurora. I think we got this a couple times, like dropped yesterday on the hardcore paladin actually. Kind of cool. Morning, travelers. Morning, DM Brokaw. Greetings, traveler. Not to mention, definitely going to be doing the old there's all grub runs today. Or there's all grub run today. Mostly just for the mount. I probably won't swap the skinning for it, but yeah. I think though, as far as Loch Modan goes, it's definitely, like, most definitely worth maximizing kills on the transmog mobs, like these ogres here, and the rats as well, that have good drops but don't hyper spawn. Because if we're gonna be in the zone anyways, we may as well be getting like a lot of kills on them, because that's gonna be the best value. The best value with the highest expected value for sales. Wait, what new zone is this? We rolled this one. What was it? Not this Monday, but last Monday. So we're in Loch Modan at the moment. It hasn't been in the videos yet though. The video will have the zone spin recap and like the beginnings of the zone. So yeah. Get everyone caught up to the zone spins in the vid. Just one spin though. It was Badlands or Blasted Lands to Loch Modan. Don't want to go too close to the borders, but we do want the tin. I also can't help but feel that there are considerably more mining deposits in retail than there are in Classic. Like, in Classic, we were having a hard time finding tin. In retail, stuff's everywhere, which is good for us in retail, but tin is a little bit more valuable for us in Classic, I think. But yeah, we were literally questing down this area here yesterday. It's kind of funny. That's true. They also spawn more often or benefit from the multiple people mining it in retail. Maybe there's the same amount of spawns in Classic, but people are just always grabbing them, right? Whereas in retail, there's not many people farming them out here, so they kind of just end up getting fully spawned. Possibly. And yeah, we can cover a lot more distance, so could be a couple of factors. But I don't know if I've ever seen on Classic like 4 nodes on the minimap at once. Definitely doesn't seem that dense on Classic. But yeah, maybe it's just people grabbing them. And maybe they have slower respawn timers. There's 100% a few spots on the border that will trip you over into Twilight Highlands if you aren't careful. Alright. I'll be careful. I checked out all the caves. None of the caves will trip me over, but yeah, I gotta be careful with some of the nodes, because the border is pretty, it's like such a, like, Loch Modan into other zones have such a low border. Like, a lot of other spots will have, like, big mountains, whereas, I mean, the Twilight Highlands mountains aren't that big, if you look at them. And they do get kind of dark there, so I assume, like, if I walked onto that mountain part there, that would probably be Twilight Highlands. And then to the north, wetlands, there's, like, no border there. Like, we could fly over that so easily. And to the south, there's, like, no big mountains into Badlands. So it's kind of a sketchy zone to be flying around in. If I accidentally disconnect, or am I, like, if I'm on... I don't really use auto flight or like auto run on flying, but if I accidentally like auto ran disconnected, we would definitely fly into a zone. Yeah. I think as long as we're being kind of reasonably careful at the borders, if it happens, it happens, but we're like... To my knowledge, to be fair, we could find this out, unfortunately. I don't think there's any borders as bad as Westfall to Duskwood. I definitely checked, like, the major borders here. And you have to go really far into Blasted Lands, or into Badlands for it to flip over. But, yeah. We could go on, like, on Patherics to make a route around. That literally just, like, shows the border. That might be a lot of work, though. But it might be handy. Doosty, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a great Friday. Ooh, I can check the limited supply vendors in a little bit, too. It is a little bit of a bummer about some of the spawns here. Like, I was looking forward to... I didn't know if it would be good or not, but I was looking forward to maybe having a farm on these fire elementals. Problem is, they don't hyper spawn either. And they only drop trade goods, not transmog. And, like, the trade goods aren't very good. Like, it would definitely be a volume game where you'd have to kill, like, a lot per hour for it to be worth anything. So unfortunately, that one is kind of a dud farm. We tested it though. It's just not that great. Unlike the other hyper spawn spots that don't auto hyper spawn for Transmog. It like helps us. That one doesn't necessarily help us too much. Mm-hmm. 18 minutes on the Darkmoon fishing cap. Roger that. Roger Dodger. We are starting to get quite a bit of stockpiled herbs, so today might also be good to swap over to Inscription to actually process them to get them listed. Because after stream today, I'll be doing the auction house clear, but finishing up like the last little edits for the Goldbound video, which will include the auction house clear and kind of seeing what we're at. So if we could get some inks and pigments listed today, that could then be sold for the auction house clear. That would be ideal, I think. Big ticket sword in the top left there. Oh yeah. Good start to the day with the Rodentia shortsword, most definitely. Might be one of the faster moving items of Modan. Just based off the sale average there, 0.023. Most, I mean like most Transmog, it's pretty rare to see like a 0.0 number. It's normally like 0.001. Like if we look at other items here. Well, maybe for lower value, it's more common. I don't have any other like high value items in my bag is the problem right now. But normally it'd be like 0.00 number, like 0.008, like that rate. Yeah. Yeah, that's sales per day. So region average daily sold. So I think basically, you know, if we get that to add up to 1, it would be 4. Like 1 is sold every 40 days, I guess, like every month and a bit on average. Keep in mind though, that's only ones that are recorded by TSM. So if someone buys the item from someone who doesn't have TSM, and the person who bought it also doesn't have TSM, it won't track it towards the numbers. So it's the lowest it would be. Because of that tracking ability, you can only assume it's higher for average daily sold. So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. That information can be quite helpful for deciding which items to list and for how much. So an item like this, I would probably list it closer to the average sale and the historical price compared to listing it higher. You very well may eventually get a sale if you list it for like 80k, but chances are any sale is probably going to be closer to like the 20 to 30k or even the 17k average sale price. How does it look again, the sword? I'll show you. I can't for some reason dual wield it, like I can't like double click to inspect both of them, but that's what it looks like right there. Kind of like a short, I can really visualize a kobold running around with this, to be honest, so very much a kobold rat sword, I would say. Not exactly like a crazy sword, but if we look at all the things, there is only one sword in the game that has that appearance, and it's the Rodentia short sword. So if someone wants that appearance, they need to buy this item, or more likely, if they just want to finish off their all the things percentage, they just have to buy the item, or go farm it themselves. It's actually these tunnel rat scouts that drop that item, right? So they could come here, you know, if they had ATT and kill these all themselves. They don't hyperspawn, so it might be a hard one to specifically farm. Oops, sorry, bro. Hopefully you tagged it. Cub is up. And no loot from Cub. He's got a few things he wants, but it's okay. We'll get it next time. Perfect for gnomes. Actually, that would be a really good weapon for like a gnome warrior. Imagine that, like a gnome warrior tanking with that little one-hander. Yeah. It might look even smaller on a gnome though, compared to a human. I mean, gnomes are the same size as tunnel rat scouts, so it makes sense. Oh no, you're late? Nah. We're still getting going here. We're still getting going. Self-found transmog account will be pretty fun. That's basically like doing the ATT completion runs, right? So there's definitely some people doing that, like Navel. That's basically a self-found transmog run, is basically what his is. To a big degree. I mean, there's more than just transmog, but that's a big portion of it. Haven't gotten to check out the last couple streams. How's the progress in Modan? What I will say is it's a very similar strength of a zone of like pros and cons to Red Ridge and Westfall. So remember how kind of like things were in Red Ridge and Westfall? There are some pretty good transmog farms, but like not really any big hitting trade good farms. That's kind of the same vibe here. In fact, the good trade good farms are kind of the same. It's like small eggs, dual gathering, you know, maybe some fishing chests. So it's a very similar vibe to those zones. But there is maybe more transmog. Like, there's a lot of transmog here. I have a lot of Loch Modan transmog listed right now. Like a good amount. I have gotten every single transmog target drop from the mobs. Not counting rare spawns, because I can't really focus on rare spawn unless we just camp. But we're pretty much being in the zone, we're camping rare spawns all the time. Like this loop that we're doing, I'm going over every rare spawn like while we're talking here. So I haven't gotten all the drops from the rares, but I have gotten all the drops from the mobs. So some of them I'm restocking if I see them sell. Some of them I'm just getting backlogs of because, you know, they're good value. So the idea with that is if we can sell off a couple pieces of transmog for, you know, 17k or so, pretty quickly that token comes up, you know? Pretty quickly. Of course, though, we gotta get the drops and we gotta sell the drops. Which, selling transmog under time constraints is not always the easiest thing. You can't just decide that you want to sell more transmog. It doesn't work like that. You can decide to farm more transmog, but doesn't make it sell. Just tell you that for free. We can list it aggressively, but that's pretty much the extent of what we can do. What about drops in the dark iron chests? No big drops yet. I'm getting mostly silken treasure chests here, actually. I think I've gotten one dark iron chest, and the rest have been silken. So, nothing too crazy, actually. But we're totally spinning the wheel on Monday, right? We'll see. We'll see. All of that and more will be revealed in this episode of Saturday Goldbound. Stay tuned. We'll see. theoretically, if we were to spin a zone, we have a very similar wheel as we spun last. Only 4 options. Basically, it's all the same options, except now Loch Modan is replaced by wetlands. So the next available zones will be wetlands. You know, we could talk about it, you know, see what we think about it. Off the top of my head, wetlands to me has a couple big aspects. 3 big aspects. First and foremost, it goes further north in Eastern Kingdoms. Secondly, it opens up a second spot that we can land in Kalimdor, right? Like if we look at the wetlands boats, the boat here goes to Dustwallow Marsh, which gives us 2 potential zones to spin to go to Kalimdor. We have Dustwallow Marsh and Barrens, which basically doubles the chances of getting Kalimdor. That's a little bit of a sneaky part of wetlands, I would say. On top of that, we got battle pet farms, guys. And skinning farms. Those are the only ones like as far as farms that come to the top of my head. I'm sure once we get wetlands we'll find more, but that's kind of like what I think of when I think of wetlands right now. And then wait, does it have a boat to Darkshore? Does it? No. Maybe it used to, but now it's Howling Fjord and Dustwallow Marsh. The World of Warcraft transit lanes are always changing, unfortunately. Remember saying I liked flipping old school? Would I ever do a series where I farmed OSRS gold, similar to Goldy? Maybe. Maybe. I wouldn't be opposed. It would probably be a shorter series, though. Yeah, in Classic and TBC, there's a lot more Kalimdor boat lines for sure. Nowadays, like if we went there, it would be probably a portal instead of a boat. But that's just one of the zones we have available. Once we get a next zone spin, is wetlands. Of course, we still have the ones that we had before, so Deadwind Pass. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Deadwind Pass, though. And as Karazhan, we will do both, like all the versions of Karazhan. The raid and the dungeon. There's also Badlands, which is like right beside our zone here. And then what else do we have? Oh yeah, Barrens. Yeah. So we'll see. Next time we spin a zone, it'll be interesting for sure. Twilight Highlands. No, it's right here, but we don't actually have a path to Twilight Highlands. We have to go around. Like, I'll fly up here, you get a better idea. It's all mountain. There's no pass here from Loch Modan. We have to go around wetlands and through the main entrance to get into Twilight Highlands. So it's going to stay off the spinner until we get wetlands. You guys thought I was going to die. Not today. Not dying today. Yeah, so I mean, all those zones would be good. Like, I'd be down to do wetlands. Badlands would be good. Deadwind Pass. Honestly, like, Deadwind Pass and Badlands don't put anything new on the zone spinner. But it would be nice to clean up the south of the zone. That way, like, once those are done, like Badlands and Deadwind Pass, 100% of, like, here on down will be completed. Wait, that's actually a good point. What if I died and it took me to a graveyard that in a zone that I hadn't completed? As far as I'm aware, it always takes you to the zone you died in's graveyard. But maybe, like, if you died close to a border, could it possibly take you to the bordering zone's graveyard? I feel like it would always... I feel like it would always take you to your zone's graveyard. Yeah, that would be a forfeit. I don't think that's a bug, guys. I think that would be like a forfeit because dying is in our control. If we want to avoid any risk of that, the solution is simple. Don't die. Don't die. Will it happen? Maybe not. We could test it on other characters, but I'll just try to not die near other zones, you know? Because, yeah, when we did the Darkmoon Faire one, that, I would argue that's kind of a bug. The fact that this part of Westfall... The fact that this part of Westfall is actually Duskwood... That's silly. But, the rules are the rules, guys. And the facts are the facts. And if you go into a different zone, you gotta pay the tax. The zone tax. Straight bars. Straight bars. Oh, guys, someone mentioned that we got the wire is out, so Poncho isn't here. The door is open. They're all home. No cat and no dog has come into the room yet. However, let me see if I can get my Twitch and YouTube chat going here because I have it on both. We have some new items. Okay. Where are they? Maybe they're loading. Yeah, there we go. Yup. Some new emotes. I'm just dropping them into the chats. We have them on Twitch and on YouTube. We got the Poncho Party, we got the Boo 2, and the Stella 2. Couple new emotes. I really like the Poncho Party one. So we'll see if Poncho comes in. I just got a notification on my Garmin. It says Twitch penalizes view botting. Twitch introduces viewership caps for streamers artificially inflating audience numbers. Darn view botters. They're in game and they're on stream. What the heck? Alright, I think our bags are getting a bit too full. I gotta clear these up. Quick vendor. I kind of want to have disenchanting though. I don't really want to sell any of the greens until I have disenchanting because that's actually like pretty darn good gold for what we have going on here. So sell junk. Poncho Party Airball just testing. Let's go.
Pathel 2 not Pathel 2 Sniffer Pathel 2 Stella 2.
The voice to text on that's hilarious. Video Oyster though with the resub. And the Pathel 2 Sniffer, Pathel 2 Stella, Pathel 2 Frayed Not. Let's go. The emotes on the text to speech Twitch sub alerts are hilarious. Wetlands would open up a Afraid Not Companion farm, the large slimy bone. Oh, that's interesting. Another material that would be used by Keeper Talhut. Very interesting. You know, it's asked already, but how's the progress in the zone so far? So far, so good. We'll get a full kind of update on the progress on the Goldbound episode tomorrow. We'll do like a mailbox clear and have it in the video. But yeah, it'll really depend on how much Transmog is sold. That's like the biggest factor. Zone Transmog and like previously owned Transmogs as well. In the video though, I'll break down the previously sold and the Zone Transmog. It'll be two separate sections. Previously owned Transmog and then like new Transmog that we got from here. Which, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think we'll sell more value of Transmog from like the backlog, or more value of Transmog from Transmog that we got new in Modan? Keep in mind, I am doing more aggressive undercut and repost scams on the Modan Transmog, whereas I'm kind of just like setting and forgetting the old Transmog. We are still doing the housing stuff, but we only really have 2 items that we're selling. So it's pretty easy to keep track of those ones. But I sell the housing stuff on like the other Transmog character. Yeah, new episode will be tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning will be the new episode. So after stream today, I gotta finish it up, do the auction house clears, because as you can see, we have not cleared the auction house. It's empty in the bags. So that'll be an off-stream auction house clear. We'll see what happens. You know, maybe if we're close enough to the token, maybe Monday we just go live until we get the token like we did in Badlands. Or Blasted Lands. That was pretty fun. It'll all depend on how much gold we have. Is the crafting alt up to decor skill level? Yes. They are, since they're leatherworking and blacksmithing, they're pumping out Shadowforged sconces and Modan bearskin rugs. I've been posting them like relatively aggressively, but they haven't been, like I haven't had to restock them in a while. I did make like 15 or 20 at once though, so we have a pretty big stockpile of those items. But yeah, no, they're definitely keeping those listed. That's like the major benefit of the crafting alt for sure. Do I think I'll get enough for the token? Well, I can't tell you. That's a secret. I do my reposting, so I kind of see, you know, I get a good vibe for how much gold we have coming in. However, generally speaking, on Goldy, the trade goods, it's more than 100 males, right? So I can't always see how much that is. But generally speaking, the Transmog characters are usually less than 100 sales, so I can usually see the total Transmog value as well. So at this point in time, we're too deep into like not having an auction house reveal for me to say whether or not I think we will. Day one though, day one of being in Modan, I gave my opinion and I said I think it will be like a 2 to 3 week zone is what I said like when we first got in. So that's all the details I can give. Beyond that, anything else other than like restating what I said earlier would either be spoiling or deception. And I don't want to do either. If I said I think we will or I think we won't, I don't know. Enchanting has a good decor cell for the next crafting alt. Candles. I made a couple of the lanterns. Yeah, they were pretty good actually. Different decor items are definitely good reasons to get other transmog alts. Because getting up to the decor levels is kind of tough. I don't think I'll consume another Darkmoon Faire water. I'll keep these for later. We'll finish off the 5 minutes here, though, with like the increased gathering speed. Bing, bang, boom. What happens when we sell the sword that's worth 2 tokens? Well, it depends how much it sells for, but like the real question there, right, is if we get enough gold in one mailbox clear to purchase 2 tokens or more than 2 tokens, what do? And the answer is we get enough. We spin as many zones as tokens we get. And then we'll go explore the newly unlocked zones. That spider bear takes a while to respawn, it seems. Not very common. Goldy video tomorrow? Confirmed. Yep. It is confirmed. You're leaving decor sales to people with the patience to farm lumber because you are just not him. That's... I've been saying, I think lumber is really good for the decor values, right? Because if you're trying to list like decor from every expansion, that would be such a headache to go and farm lumber in every expansion. Kind of fun, but like, it turns what is basically like a crafting profession kind of low-key into a gathering profession, right? Because that's the bottleneck there. Like, if you have the capital to invest to craft more housing decor, the bottleneck is 100% lumber, which is gathering. And there's a lot of different types of lumber. Each expansion has its own lumber, so... You either gotta make a big stockpile or... yeah. Some people never chopped willows in Draenor and it shows. Yo, what do you think I'm doing on my second monitor right now? No, I'm not actually on Runescape on my second monitor right now, but... You know, it's a good second monitor game for sure. Yeah. Iconic second monitor game. It's the best. See, the problem with RuneScape is, like, there's no reason to ever stop playing, because with mobile and how, like, AFK it can be. Like, imagine if, in WoW, you could kind of always be gold farming if you just clicked every, like, 5 to 10 minutes, and it was also mobile on your phone. Like, that's basically it. So whatever you're doing, like I've definitely had situations where I'd have like RuneScape on my mobile phone, and I'd be like in the grocery store, walk around the aisles, and every like 5 minutes I go into my pocket to like make sure I wasn't dying in like the what's it called? The nightmare zone. So I was just getting like strength and attack XP while doing my chores. Wasn't the WoW companion app basically that? Yeah, you could do some stuff remotely, but it was less like... You could definitely do some stuff like out and about. But RuneScape was like, you're playing the actual like game. Like what you'd be doing at your monitor, you could just do... wherever. Yeah. It's pretty good stuff. Alright, 24 seconds on Firewater, guys. Yeah, like, because back in the day, the WoW app, you could do the auction house. You could do mission tables, yeah, on the app. You could do all that stuff. It was really, really good. I think they changed it pretty substantially. Now it's kind of just like your battle.net, right? I haven't really used it. Like, I have the authenticator on my phone, but I just use it for Battle.net. Like, if I'm away, like, sometimes I'll message people on Battle.net. That's about it. When's the next Inquisitor video? Wolfheart Games. What I will do... One sec. I will recommend you go watch the most recent video on my channel, on the second channel. I explained it in there, but the Inquisitor will not be having another video due to several unfortunate circumstances. Very unfortunate circumstances. The two circumstances, he died, and I lost the footage of the last, like, couple levels. So it's really unfortunate circumstances. But we do have a new leveling series on the second channel that we're doing live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and, like, I haven't really set an upload schedule for that one, but it's gonna be, like, kind of as progress happens, I'll be uploading, like, a little status update. But, like, no necessarily set schedule, but sometimes I'm just feeling kind of like editing a bit more, and then I make an episode. But it'll probably be, like, Sundays. A series of unfortunate events. It was a series of extremely unfortunate events. Yeah. What I do now, though, is I stream, I record on OBS, and I have a completely secondary video recording software. It's called Bandicam, just like a completely different software, and then I record on that one as well, just like my screen. So I have like multiple redundancies, and then as long as everything goes well, I don't have to use the redundancies, but they're there if I need them. Bandicam is the OG. I used to use Fraps. Like my first ever World of Warcraft videos, I used Fraps. Did you guys ever use that? I was looking. I paid for the full version. I don't really think it's still operating as well as it used to. But yeah, that's what I was using like way back in the day. I'm gonna drop herb here to get enchanting. What about unregistered hypercam? You know what pairs really, really well with unregistered hypercam? Drowning pool, let the bodies hit the floor in like PvP montages. Like those two, that and Evanescence, it's like those are the two soundtracks of that era that everyone just like edited like their PvP in WoW and RuneScape too. Unregistered hypercam. Fraps files are absolutely massive. Yes. So are Bandicams. If I stream, let me open up my Bandicam. Cause I streamed for 5 hours yesterday. The file size from yesterday's stream is 97 gigabytes for a 5-hour stream. So, yeah, that's insane. On OBS, it's like, I'd have to open up my files, but it's like 20 gigs. Yeah, Bandicam is a memory like consumer, but I don't keep those files. It's just like the redundancy, so that if for some reason like one of my other footages get corrupted, I have that as a backup. Otherwise, I just delete it. Right? I don't keep it. All right, let's do some. Sorry, I got distracted by talking about Drowning Pool and Evanescence. Linkin Park also though. enchanting. But yeah, I also just use, like, I record to external external SSDs. They have like 5 terabyte ones now that are quite cheap. So that's where like all my old footage is on. Okay, guys, let's make some space here. Every time I do this same thing. Every time. Disenchant, there we go. Losing old footage should also be based on the kind of video file. I think the macro saw makes a video that cuts at where the program crashes, but you just hit stop record to actually make the video watchable. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, the video getting corrupted or like errored was kind of user error. Because what happened is on OBS, if you're streaming and you also want to record at the same time, I DC'd the wrong item. What'd I disenchant? I think it's all good. There's a lot of items that have a lot of value that I will end up DCing. But yeah, you can't really very easily stream and record at the same time on OBS unless you have a plugin. But the plugin, it saved the file under the same name. Wait, does this really vendor for 19 gold? But yeah, so it saved the file under the same name. Not ideal. And then it overwrote the last one. Honestly, I think I'll still take the chance at the greater Eternals. Right? Well, maybe I should just vendor. Let me see here. Which one's correct?
Hey there. What can I do for you?
So, will this actually vendor for the 19 gold? Vendor sell price 19 gold? Yeah, it does, actually. That's not bad. So the average disenchant value is 7 gold. So some of these I actually should just vendor. Oh my gosh. Heck yeah. Free gold. I'm gonna roll the dice on this one though. Yeah, you get a lot of illusion dust. Yeah. It's interesting, because yeah, some items don't vendor for much and some do. Maybe we got into a different level range now, so the BOEs that we're getting actually have a good vendor price. Well, those ones I should have disenchanted. So those vendor for 15 silver. Good, 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 good. Alright, we got a lot of bag space now. Ooh. Yeah, those are good. Sweet. Let's go do, Zal Grub. Cruel Barb. I've got a couple Cruel Barbs in the bank, I believe. But that Cruel Barb right there just gave us like 60 gold, so it didn't go to waste, guys. We're all good. We have to get the attempt, though. The attempt at the Raptor mount. I do believe. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think that, because it's interesting. I think the items in Zul'Gurub, those scaling items are better to disenchant. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on the items from the Loch Modan. Those ones seem to be better to vendor, so. Like, we got some good raw gold there. When we entered Loch Modan, I think we had like 2,000 raw gold. Whereas now we have 3.3k. So I think we've made like 1.3k raw gold. From like loot and vendoring. As far as like raw currency looted, it's a bit lower, but that's pretty good. Is the alt with blacksmithing generating good money? Not bad. Like the main things for the blacksmithing alt is the decor, and then just keeping all that transmog listed. I don't have like too many crazy valuable transmog recipes, so it's not too hard to keep it stocked. But it's definitely doing work. But we'll see more transmog alts as we unlock more starting zones. That'll be when we see another one. So the next possible ones will be like Barons or Duratar. Not Barons, sorry. Mull Horde or Duratar. And then we'll have a Horde crafting alt. "39 minutes on Darkmoon Faire fishing hat," by the way. Just ran through your normal crafting list and sold some good armor for Transmog recently. Like 10k from Catacraft armor. Oh yeah, that's good. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit in the crafting for sure. If you have a system to keep up on recrafting things that have sold, it could be a quite profitable way to like craft Transmog 100%. Especially if you're not restricted to current like a certain area, right? Like we have a relatively limited supply of recipes. Like we have a few for sure, but if you're not limited to just classic, yeah, most people aren't going back to like look through all those ones. Time for the Raptor though. You just wait, Twisted lol. You just finished up setting up 15 jewel crafting alts in midnight. Wow, like knowledge craft, like not knowledge point. Concentration, yeah. That is a lot of work. Going around getting all the knowledge points and all that. Jeez. Alright guys. The killing spree into the recuperate. Let's see if the Raptor drops. No Raptor today, guys. It's okay. We'll get it next time. I don't know how many kills we have on that guy. I haven't. Well, now that you can't track kills in dungeons, like the kill tracker doesn't track it, so. You're up 50k gold on those characters. You bought items on Dead Realms for very cheap. The profession items. That's a good idea. Setting up profession alts with those items is super expensive. It gave you a ring that lets you touch the Discord server though. I think we are wearing a touch of Discord. Oh no, we're not. Oh right, we're wearing Amulet of the Watcher. I thought we got a speed item from him, but it was the amulet that had the speed on it. Did any of these upgrade for speed? I don't think so. Alright guys. I do want to go into Darkmoon Faire for a little bit, and hear me out, hear me out. I'm not trying to juice gold per hour right now. I just want a personal stockpile of Darkmoon Faire water to use in our farms, okay? I'm not trying to circumvent Loch Modan by getting the crazy gold per hours. This is merely for personal use, okay? A personal supply. I'm not dealing. Well, I am selling the ones I get from my hat. That's it. I mean, I could sell Darkmoon Faire water, but I personally prefer to do most of my farming that I'm gonna sell in my recently unlocked zones. Otherwise, like every zone, I'd just like do thorium clam slam, molten core resets, Darkmoon fishing for like 4 hours each, and we'd have like 150k. Yay, fishing. Everyone knows you're not supposed to get large off your own supply. Exactly, this is, well, we're doing the exact opposite, I guess. Likely story. I swear, guys, I'm just holding Darkmoon Faire water for a friend. It's the arcane clam slam to you. That's true, the arcane clam slam. Goated. We'll only stay as long as it takes for us to get annoyed by the music. That's the yardstick that we'll do, okay? We can farm Darkmoon Faire until we get annoyed by the music. So we'll have to take a poll every like 5 minutes. Are you annoyed by the Darkmoon Faire music yet? If yes, then we leave. If no, then we continue farming. There's no one here, though. Are we about to get, like, a ton of Darkmoon Faire water if no one's around? Oh, okay, so the retail fishing sound is so much louder than classic? Oh my gosh. You would think this music would give me, like, you know, a little bit of flashbacks to being in the zone. It was a lot of fun, the zone. What is this set? This is the Bard set. Like, I'm wearing the full... I'll show ya. Like, we're just equipped with the Bard's gear. It's all Bards. So, yeah. It's a cool set, I think. It drops pretty much, like, if you want to get this set, do a couple laps of... Well, you can buy it on the auction house. It's pretty cheap. It's like 200 gold a piece. But also, the mobs, the bosses in Red Ridge, they all drop these pieces, so... I got it off Red Ridge. A very good Red Ridge set. Jeez. There's a lot of Darkmoon Faire water out here, guys. We'll have a personal supply for quite a few hours. We've already got in 5 hours worth of Darkmoon Faire water for ourselves. 7 hours. Well, I had 2 before, though. 2 were from my hat, so. Oh, you guys. We got Poncho checking in. In honor of the new emote, we're bringing back Poncho parties, guys. Ooh, it's a Poncho party. Ooh, a Poncho party. Ooh, it's a Poncho party. Poncho party. Ooh, a Poncho party. Poncho party. Boom. Heck yeah, guys. Feels good. The reason Poncho parties became a thing is because Poncho requires, like, a lot of attention when she... If she walks in front of me while I'm streaming, it's because she's, like, wants attention. And so, over time, like, whether I'm streaming or working, we came up with Poncho parties because it's, like, it satisfies her need for attention. To have, like, a lot of attention right on her. That's where it came from. But she is instantly going for the wire, so... Poncho. What we do now if we go into a wrong zone, another Darkmoon token. Not another Darkmoon one, but another similar zone. One sec. We're gonna go do this tech. Sorry, Poncho. The through the shirt tech. Another similar zone. So the idea behind Darkmoon is it's a zone that isn't available through a path. It's through like a clickable portal. So the next forfeit zone would be a zone that we would never naturally get on a path. So there's no walk-on boat, no walk-through portal like the Dark Portal. If you have to click a portal to go there, then it will be like a forfeit zone. Things like Vashir and Deep Home. Those are the next immediate ones, you know? Potentially Tol Barad, but no, we can walk to Tol Barad, so maybe not. Hey, Poncho. The Vashir token, the heaviest punishment. The thing about the Vashir token is I feel like it would be actually pretty quick. Oh yeah, I don't have walking on water on Goldy. Tell yourself. I mean, to be fair, a zone like that, with the 1 week in the zone, it's a failable thing, right? Like, if I don't get enough gold in the 1 week, it's like, it's not like I'm stuck in the zone. Like, with Darkmoon Faire, for example, if I got to the end of the week and I didn't have a token, we would have still left the Darkmoon Faire. We would have just failed. It's like an automatic week delay. If I get out earlier, I get out earlier with a token. So a zone like Teldrassil or Tol Barad actually isn't the worst idea, because then it would just limit us to the zone for a week. And then we'd be out. Vashir, though, has good farms. Like, Vashir, I could for sure get a token in a week if we was locked in. Like, I think there's 10k plus gold per hour farms there, so honestly, like, it would be not too bad. Keep in mind, though, we would still also be testing farms that aren't good, so it would probably be like 40 hours played for a token. If we just did the best farms, it would be closer to 20, but as you guys know, we don't always just do the best farms. We often do very inefficient farms that we're testing out for science, you know? Darkmoon Rabbit ain't up. I actually think that no one is in Darkmoon Faire right now farming. There's like, if anyone wants to go make a ton of money, like, go do some Darkmoon fishing. Right now we're getting a perceived 38k per hour. It'll slow down as the pools, but like all the pools are up. Darkwater Skate. Been a while. It's been a minute. I mean, one loop here, we have like 18 Darkmoon Firewater. It's pretty good. Hey, Tweetorian. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a great day. This is, since we don't have a walking on water mount for Goldy yet, because we don't have zones to unlock it, the dark water mount is the best option we have for these areas, so your results may vary if you have walking on water, and by vary, I mean be much better. Hey chat, for Midnight Gathering, do prices of materials go back up on new patches? Some of them might spike, but they're not going to go back to like release values. Like release values for the midnight materials are, it's never going to hit that again. You might see like little spikes, particularly on like raid consumable stuff, like Nocturnal Lotus maybe, but yeah. Oh yeah, if I use the favorite mount button but have one flyer, one ground, one water, it would work. That's true. Can you do character-specific favorites, or does it have to be like account-wide favorites? So I don't think I'd want to undo my account-wide favorites. You know? That would work. Yeah. It'd be cool if they had like, yeah, character-based favorite mounts for this exact purpose. Different characters. Mounto is an add-on that lets you do per character favorites. That could be handy. I have... what add-on was this again? It's some mount add-on that shows like the percentage of people with it. I don't mind it too much. Like I just tend to have like my stuff. Plus on Goldy, I'm using like a few different ground mounts anyways, so I kind of have to have them out for like the Brutosaur. So it might be okay. Mount Journal Enhanced, that's right. That's the one I'm using right now. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we got all of our Darkmoon Faire water for like 19 hours of farming. Let's see. I'll go right to the front again because we started over here. And we kind of cleared out like all of the Darkmoon Faire water, but we'll try to get some new ones as well. A Night and Sec with the Twitch Prime. Greetings, traveler. Also, Poncho is saying hello. Like it because it also lets you know when you're in no fly area. That's true. Yeah. Going between flying and the other one. I think like for my situation though, even if I have that one, I will have to have all my mounts on the action bar anyways, just for different situations. Like sometimes, for a dramatic effect, I like to be on my ground mount when I'm in a flying zone, or I mount up on the Brutosaur in a flying zone. So I might just by virtue of like how I'm doing, I might have to have them on my bars anyways. Alright, well, that's the fair for me today, guys. Let's head out. I did a full loop. We got 19 Darkmoon Faire water. That'll last me for like 19 hours of farming. And we're only really using that for like farms that we're doing loops. Have I had any luck on getting Darkmoon fishing on multiple characters? I've gotten the hat on my main on Patherics and on one of my alts, so I have it on 3 characters. Yeah, so I've had some luck. One character, it took a long time. I didn't count the casts. One was like really early. Like really early. Is the hat rare? Yeah, it's quite rare. You can get it from fishing the open water in Darkmoon. What is it? It's like, I don't know what the posted drop chance is, but it's like quite common to get like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 2,000, I think. Yeah, there is an exit portal on the dock, isn't there? I always forget about the dock exit. Yeah, that's on me. That's definitely on me, guys. What chromie time do I think is the most fun for leveling a dual gatherer druid? Mostly gathering in? I would say Cataclysm or Northrend. But I haven't done some of the higher level ones. But those like Cata and Northern, you get like good gold per hour. And you also get good XP rates. So it makes it quite fun. Someone was posting on the Discord the other day. They figured how to get the hat, I think anyhow. They got it on 3 alts quickly. I saw that. They had like a tech where they would go to this one spot and level up from 1 and buy like 200 fishing. They had it 3 times. That seems like more than a coincidence, so could be something to that. Could definitely be something to that. Thinking about trying out Dragonflight because you can get the finesse boost speeds and have mounted mining. Yeah, that's true. It could be good. I don't know how good the gold per hour is there or the XP per hour, but it's definitely worth a try. The highest level I did on my Traveler alt, who, as of the last check, has 27 kills, somehow. The highest I went was Mop, and then I went right into current content because Mop got me up to level 80. I did 3 zones per expansion through like Burning Crusade, Wrath, Cata, Mop, and then I hit 80. Pretty quick, actually, when you think about it. Actually, very quick. The Mop gold per hour wasn't crazy, but the XP per hour was very good in the Jade Forest. Yeah. I think the Jade Forest and Uldum had very similar XP per hours, but Uldum was twice the gold per hour. I was getting like 12k, 12 to 14k in Uldum. I am real quick, guys, gonna use the washroom here. I'll be right back while we smelt. Also, whoever bet that I'd forget to unplug the cord. I don't know. I remembered. Yo, Wolfheart Games, coming clean with the super chat. Thank you for the $5 for the cord. That's hilarious. That's funny. GG's guys. The thing is, though, I have played so much with Poncho, like being around the computer. Most of the time, I have to have the cord inside, so it's kind of like second nature now for me. It's actually a pretty cool headset. It has like the big cord. This is from like a electric drum kit I got back in the day. A bet is a bet. You're a man of your word. Appreciate that, brother. Alright, 79 copper left. I think it's still profitable, but the copper is down. Even the bars are down quite a bit. Yeah. Even the bars are down quite a bit. Are the bolts up though? Huh. Let me look. Handful of copper bolts. Maybe I'll look on the mount after. The last I checked, the bolts were like quite a bit of a loss, but maybe they've changed. We can take a look. I do have a lot of herbs I wouldn't mind doing some milling on. Because I'm sure, like, if we look at the mill value, it's like 4 to 5 gold per herb here. So it should be a net positive to mill them. Poncho is really hanging out today, though, eh? I still think it's like not a bad idea to smelt, because when the copper ore price goes down, it tends to stay down, whereas the bars are a little more like volatile. So if we list the bars closer to 4 gold over time, like we should be able to sell them for that. Whereas if the copper ore price itself just goes down, oftentimes it won't come back up, even for like a little bit. There's just too much volume. Poncho party reminds you of the pug party meme. It's been a classic on the channel for sure. Little Poncho parties. Hey Poncho. Okay. Oh, she is hitting my keyboard and my mouse. It's okay. Let's take a look at the copper bolts. Oh, kind of hard to type. Okay, they are up a little bit, it looks like. So maybe we could do a little bit of a quick eng swap. Because it's, is there an engineering trainer in here? I think there is. No, just mining, actually. I currently have enchanting, so I could drop enchanting. I might have to pop over real quick to Dunmoreau, because there's a eng trainer there. Wouldn't it be better to prospect the copper? Excuse me. The gems are pretty bad, yeah. Let me grab a copper real quick. Because Trade Skill Master, it knows the drop rate of the gems, and it gives you an expected value. And it's really low, like I'll show you. Prospect value for 1 copper is 28 silver. So you lose like 90% of the value. Just because the gems aren't that good. Later expansions, it can be good, depending on what gems they have. But yeah, no, for copper, the prospecting is rough. Very, very rough. Okay, here we are. I will unlearn enchanting. And with that, get Eng. Wrong house. Sorry, guys. Sorry to impose on your house without a purpose. Hi. Okay. I want to switch to the WoW UI. I just want classic engineering, actually. I don't want Cataclysm engineering.
What can I do for you?
Wait, how do I switch? Oh, here we go.
Safe travels.
Yeah, later on the gems can be used to craft like things. Jewel crafting mounts. And prospecting can be more profitable. From what I've seen so far, there's not been too many. Tin ore actually is one that prospecting might be worthwhile. Cause it's like 1 gold in the auction house right now. But the prospect value is apparently 240. So maybe we should prospect tin. Like, I wonder what it prospects into. We only have 148 of it, but...
Great to meet you.
Man, I wish there was... Wait. I wish there was a tab for classic versus... Kata. Oh, I need 5 more levels. Okay, that's what it is.
Off with you.
5 levels, and then we can craft handfuls of copper bolts. We'll see if they sell anymore. I mean, right now there's some for over 4 gold, so that's good. I'll take the chance. I've inspired you to roll a retail tune just to the solo old dungeons and raids. Oh yeah. There's some good stuff in there.
What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? Yeah, so it is 1-to-1. And right now it is profitable, so let's go craft these. I do have like... Honestly, let me see if these have sold real quick. One moment here. I gotta pull the copper ore from the mailbox. There we go. I was selling 700 copper bars that haven't sold. I was trying to sell them off for a higher price, but I may as well craft them into bolts since we just learned Eng. Wait, where's the... Oh, anvils are in here. Okay. I'll get a couple on the auction house now. I might not sit here on stream for all 800, but we'll get a couple listed. I just want to try to get some sales and see how it goes before the prices come back down. Tin prospecting grants mostly moss agate. Moss agate's worth a lot, so we should try to prospect some tin. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do that with the tin. I want to get rid of all these trade goods like earlier than later, or sooner than later, because I'm opening up the auction house tonight. Also, the bolts have a lower price with like 10, but a higher price with like 15, so probably listing with the higher price might be worth. It might be, yeah, because if someone comes through and buys them, better to get them off at the higher price. That could be a move for sure. Tongus Flintfire here is hanging out with us crafting, so it's kind of chill. Will there ever be an opening live on stream? I did, there was a few on the Blasted Land stream. I think a situation where I'm close to token during the mailbox opening, and we can commit to farming on stream on Monday until we spin. That's kind of the situation where it will be live. Because yeah, there's I mean, TSM 3 hours ago was saying that there was like 6 gold, 50 silver for some bolts, so it could be very worth it. I'll craft up 100 and get them listed, and then I might start well, actually, I should probably just craft them all because I want to unlearn engineering. Yeah, I do want to learn engineering. Unlearn it because I want to learn inscription after this. You know, I have all these herbs to mill, so yeah. Luke Wormed, good morning. How you doing? Have I ever thought about doing a leveling series where I used only gear looted? So like the ultimate solo self-found, no vendors and no crafting? I'm definitely open to like a restricted leveling series. I kind of did something a little more restrictive than that with Hematrix, the hunter. Because he couldn't buy gear, it had to be all drops. So he, I guess in that sense, but I was on that character I was able to craft, so I guess I haven't really considered it. Could be fun though. Make those drops a little more important. I do think in a challenge like that, dungeon running would become very meta very fast to get some upgrades. Because you could foreseeably get some really, really good upgrades in dungeons. It would definitely be harder if you targeted only open world drops. Am I selling the bolts or using them to make something else? These bolts will sell. They're just high in value right now, and copper bars and copper ore itself is down quite a bit. Where's that one copper ore I got? Here we go. So copper ore is 2 gold, 40 silver each. Copper bars are 2 gold, 80 silver each right now. But these handfuls of copper bolts are like 4 to 6 gold. So every single craft of this is like 2 gold in the pocket. It's actually really good. So just sitting here, we've made like 700 gold or more. Because I had a whole bunch of copper ore on the auction house. Copper bars in the auction house, actually. Pretty good. Oh, Poncho's really just hanging out. What a cutie. Oh. Poncho's tail's hitting the keyboard. I don't want her to cancel my my craft here. Yeah, I guess a hardcore challenge or a classic challenge only using gear you get from drops. If you limited it to 1 dungeon run, that would be good. Like what you could do each dungeon once. That way if you get the drops, it's hype, but if you don't, then you're out of luck. I do like the idea of hardcore classic challenge runs. Right now, my goal with Patherics, like my paladin that we're doing on the race locked, is to get 60 in raid. Once he's done, like I'm hoping we get 60 and we have like the level, you know, we hit level 60 and all that stuff. Once we have 1 character in the bags, you know, then I'll be a little more open to doing another like harder restriction character. But right now with the community event, I'm happy with the level of the solo self-found restriction. It's still no joke. Like self-found hardcore is still a very difficult challenge in WoW. But perhaps after we level him up, we'll try out a couple other ones. Wonder if Poncho hears the crafting sound and knows it's cuddle time. Well, I don't know how good her hearing is. I don't have my speakers on. It's just headphones, so. I think now that I'm giving her some attention, though, she is aware of what the situation is. And she's ready to capitalize on it. Another day, another Goldbound? Indeed. Good week of streams this week, guys. It's been a fun week. We've made some progress in Modan, both in hardcore and in retail, so it's been good. I've been having a lot of fun on both Goldy and on the hardcore character. So is Poncho, I think. You love the new ore sub badges? Let's go. Yeah, I got those in today. I have those on YouTube and Twitch now, so. We also got a couple new emotes. So both on Twitch and on YouTube for, well, for members and subs on both. We have the Poncho Party, we have the Boo, the new Boo, like the animated Boo, and the animated Stella, so. I thought those were pretty cute. Most definitely. Dropping the Poncho Party. She's hanging around. Crafting is basically a Poncho Party, hey? Are housing items still low right now? It's not super low. Like, there's still decent prices. Like, we're selling Shadowforge sconces and Modan bearskin rugs. And I think the bearskin rugs are like 2 to 5k. And the sconces are like 8 to 12k. The sconces, though, like the raw materials that go into the Shadowforge sconces, it's like 6,000 to 7,000 gold worth of dark iron ore. Like, it's a lot of dark iron bars that are used in that. So, no one would really want to sell it for much less than that. But there's still a good profit margin on there, and the profit margin being like the value you get perceived for the lumber that you farm. I'm surprised Stella and Boo haven't come in to hang out. Just Poncho here today. Stella and Boo are probably tired from the week. They said, we streamed 5 days this week, Dad. Taking the day off. And I said, all right, guys. Okay. I see how it is. You hope in the future they make pets have special buffs for you, like increased crafting speed or increased materials gathered? That'd be interesting. We were talking, was it 2 weeks ago, about maybe them bringing in, completely speculative, but imagine like a Blizzard pet that kind of gave you mining while mounted in old world zones. Because you would fly around, and if you landed by a node, the pet would gather the ore and the herb for you. Problem is, that would be very good for like AFK, just like camping nodes. Kind of hard to get around that. Maybe they'd have to code it so like you have to be moving. But that would be interesting. Or like a mount. Yeah, like a Brutosaur that mines for you. So you go outside. Yeah, like a Brutosaur. All I'm saying is I think they need to bring in some way to get mining while mounted and herbing while mounted in old world. They have it in like the current content ones. Like I say either give us an achievement where after you gather like 100 or 1,000, or dare I say it, like 10,000 copper ores, you get like a bead of strength, and you can now you can now gather copper ore mounted. That would be epic. That would be epic. Exactly. That's like the lumberjack achievement they did for lumber. That would be really good. Lumber works that way. Why not? Yeah. They have Sky Golem for mining. Or sorry, Sky Golem for herbalism, yeah. So bring something in for mining. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. $10,000? I'm not prepared. I think... I wonder what the total amount of copper ore I've farmed is. It's 100% over 10,000. Like, no doubt. I bet you the total copper ore Goldie's done is probably 15 to 25,000 total across since the beginning. $100,000. I think 100K might be big. Maybe total ore, probably 100K. But copper alone, I don't know if it's 100K. Greetings, traveler. Herman, doing great today. Getting some crafting in with Poncho. Let me get these listed while we're crafting more. I don't want the price to tank on them. Oh yeah, there's like a couple and then the 6 gold ones. So yeah, I'll post it the 6 gold ones because that's... If someone comes and buys out those ones, I can't do it because I can't relist, but... Or I can't purchase on the auction house. But it's definitely worth the risk there. I'm just hitting this guy with my blacksmithing hammer. They could make it. Oh my gosh. Imagine that if they made it so after you smelted 10,000 copper bars, you got 2 guaranteed each time. Then you'd have to like invest like 20K or like 30, 60K into copper ore to train it, and then you'd be like super profitable. But that would make smelting like super net negative for everyone else, right? Unless you had that, it would be like a loss to smelt copper bars. That's how it would affect it, right? For sure. New sub icons as well. Yep. That is true. We got the new sub icons in the house. Where are the bolts going? If we sell a couple at 6 gold 50, it's literally like 3 gold profit every craft. It's massive. It takes a couple minutes to smelt them up, but I'm doing the auction house clear tonight, so I'd rather get more items on the auction house, right? To hopefully sell, and then I can clear them. In theory. Timo, how am I doing today? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful Friday out there. Oh, a little overcast, but we're having a good day inside. You can't really see her, but Poncho's right here. So yeah. Hey, she kind of bit me though. What the heck? That wasn't very cool, Poncho. I'm just giving you a pat. Oh. She's going into the hammock, I think. I'm using the dwarf as an anvil. Yeah. Nah, he's working too now. Well, now he's coming over and I'm gonna hit him again, but it's okay. It's okay. Right now, there's no value in smelting dark iron ores to bars. Used to be over 30 gold increased value. Yeah, The dark iron bars used to be pretty profitable. No doubt. I don't know if Poncho was overstimulated, guys, because like she definitely wants attention. Maybe she just wants to be close while I talk and rub her face on the mic. That's okay too. Yeah, maybe as I'm using this guy as an anvil, he's just popping stone skin. The dwarven racial. What if you could pop stone skin and for like the 20 seconds you have it active, you were then able to be used as a blacksmith anvil? Living Forge bonus, yeah. Wolfhard Games, you're gonna head out, watch the new hardcore video. Best of luck. Alright, alright. GLHF with the hardcore video. Thanks for hanging out today. I do think, I didn't really know about the Mechanome's ability to use like all the profession tools and equipment. I think that's so cool. I think there should be more stuff like that in the game, not just from like the allied races, but for professions, like a mount, you know? If they can give it to a like a race, you know, that'd be cool to have like some things for mounts. Even if there was like a profession mount for each profession. Like imagine if you hit max skill across all expansions, like max skill in Classic, TBC, Wrath, all the way up to current content. You got the achievement and you get a profession mount. You know what I mean? And that profession mount has the trainers on it, and it has an like if it's a blacksmith, it would have like a blacksmith trainer, an anvil, and a forge, and a reagent vendor. That would be really cool. But then I guess every expansion that comes out after that mount came out, you wouldn't have to get fully caught up, and it would just be like the old world ones. I don't know, guys. I'm just spitballing here, just ideas. Was my slash played now on Goldy? Let me tell you. Let's have a look. 34 days, 16 hours, 51 minutes. Time played this level, 3 days, 5 hours. That's probably the craziest part of it. 3 days, 5 hours on 81, and we have 1 bar left. Wow. Yeah. Would also love to see gathering professions made as secondary. Yeah. As much as I would love that, I would love it for Goldy, like selfishly. But there is something about the double professions. But yeah, you should be able to have like 2 production professions. They kind of doubled down on it though, because now in current content, tailoring is basically like a cloth gathering profession. Like, you can't really get cloth unless you have tailoring, so they kind of, like, double down on it. Or maybe, like, a secondary profession if you had... Like, what if you had blacksmithing? You would get an auto-secondary profession of mining. I don't know. By that logic, so is enchanting. Yeah. But enchanting is still kind of production, because you're using it on items. Maybe if, like, if you had enchanting, if you killed a mob, you would, like, auto-disenchant their loot? I don't know. But yeah, like, I was, you know, should mining be combined with blacksmithing? I feel like now it's gone so long where it's, like, changing it would have such a, like a negative implication on, like, the vibe of the game. But objectively, maybe. But you can definitely see how in Classic, it kind of feels a lot better. In Classic, it kind of feels good having just like one gathering in one production. They go hand in hand. In retail though, it's feels a little bit different. What about Eng? Yeah, I feel like Eng and Blacksmith should give you like the mining secondary. if in this world where we're doing secondaries for gathering and production. Always found it weird that you can't disable or disassemble gear that you have if you have the related professions. Like tailors should be able to get cloth from gear, blacksmiths metal. Yeah, like if I was a blacksmith, like what if I could take this mail and like disenchant or disassemble and get like mithril and like whatever would go into it? That would be interesting. Kind of like they kind of went a little into that with scrapping, but you know, you'd get different things from the scrapping. And they've really leaned away from the scrapping mechanics, haven't they? For a while there, it was like really big though. BFA, scrapping for expulsion. What was it? You could scrap for materials for sure, but they were used for all crafting profs. Alright guys, this is the end of the handfuls of copper bolts. You might say our hands are full with copper bolts. Yeah, I've got 2.3k. I think like a total of like 6,000 gold worth of copper bolts. If you count the listed ones. Pretty darn good, actually. The fact that blacksmiths make bars and not miners was kind of weird. Screws over engineers a little bit. Yeah. I think in retail, mining still makes bars though, right? Yeah, in retail it's still mining. That has smelting. So maybe did they change it and change it back? Cause yeah, I still get. Oh, in midnight. Oh, okay. Midnight professions. Yeah, that's what I'm not too super well versed in. Interesting. Yeah, that is kind of strange then. Yeah, that's true. Blacksmiths make. Yeah, you can't smelt like with mining in midnight, huh? With like midnight professions, yeah. I always kind of found it weird that fishing is a secondary prof. But yeah, mining and herbalism aren't. That is kind of strange. Because fishing kind of seems like mining and herbalism a little bit. You know, it's definitely a gathering. A little different, I suppose, but I feel like it might only be different than our heads because of, you know, the experience with it. I wonder if we'll ever have like another rework of the professions, because there was a probably not, since how much they overhauled it. It's a big overhaul though. All right, engineering done for the day. We can list these and peace out. Unlearn engineering, because the next thing I want to do is production. Inscription, yeah. By that logic, cooking is a production profession. Yeah, I know. I think like it's definitely the same thing, where it's kind of weird that cooking is a secondary prof, not a production profession, in the same way that it's weird that Fishing is a secondary prof and not a gathering prof. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Game design is tough, I think. Yeah, they're secondary professions because they're not as powerful, so everyone can get them. I suppose, because there's definitely advantages to having certain production professions in Classic and Retail. But I don't know if, does mining and herbalism give you any, like, advantages aside from just gathering the gold? Because, yeah, I think it would make more sense to have gathering props as secondary props, because you're not getting, like, an inherent advantage aside from gathering. You're not getting stats. Well, in Classic, do you get stuff from herbalism? I don't know. Maybe you do. Oh, I guess, yeah, we didn't even get started on first aid, guys. Oh my goodness. That's a whole nother bucket of worms. Can of worms. Alright, now it's milling time. Let's go. In Classic, you get temporary buffs for picking herbs. Yeah. Do you? Huh. Maybe some herbs, maybe the rarer ones. We're playing dice, or is this a gambling stream? This stream is brought to you by... To be fair, yeah, the milling animation is kind of a little silly. I will give you that. Kind of funny. But yeah, first aid is a secondary prop that's just completely gone now. It's just tailoring. When did that change? Probably at some point when bandages weren't as like practical. Like in Classic, bandages are very valuable, and it's like a balance thing, right? Everyone can use them. It being a balance thing, though, they are definitely better on certain classes, right? So maybe that's what they were getting after. Yeah, no, I do think like it's easy to sit and like kind of speculate on what would be good, but I feel like the more you think about it, or the more I think about it, game design is pretty hard. Like, game design and balance. Because there's no way you can think of everything right off the bat, and you change some things, and then people will be mad because it's not how it was. So, I get it, you know? I get it. Yeah, you think first aid was a safety net for the class that didn't have other options? Yeah, like first aid, definitely bigger for like hunters, rogues, warriors, mages even. Things that don't have heals, right? It's so helpful for them. Massively helpful, yeah. Could be the only option for the gnome race locked. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Bandages are going to be big. But if you or the target you're bandaging take damage, it cancels the bandage. So they'll have to, like, root. They have mages, though, so they could, like, root and bandage. But you probably can't root raid bosses. So, like, one tank will, like, shield wall, taunt, peace out, go into the corner and bandage, and then come back in, maybe? I don't know. That seems a bit scuffed. Objectively, the best healers that gnomes have are warlocks, because they can heal their pets and they can heal themselves, like with drain life. So they might do something with that for sure. A lot of... Ooh, look at how much alabaster pigment that is. That looks good. I am not going to mill that. It's not profitable. Neither is that. I think we're pretty much through all of our milling. Now let's see if we want to take these alabaster pigments we got. Because from milling here, guys, we got some verdant pigments. We're not going to do much with that. Those are very expensive right now. That's really good. The main thing is the alabasters. We have 2.2k in alabaster pigments. They're 8 gold right now, and Moonglow ink is 14, so I don't actually want to craft it into Moonglow ink. Let's see, though, if any of the glyphs with Moonglow ink are really high in price right now. Because keep in mind, it would have to be more than basically 60 gold or more to be profitable to do the conversion from alabaster pigments to Moonglow inks to glyph, okay? So Foul Menagerie, not profitable because it's only 40 gold-ish. Glyph of Inspired Hymns, definitely not profitable. Glyph of Stars is usually the one that could be quite good. Not profitable right now. And neither is Spectral Wolf. Okay, so it's settled. I will sell these as alabaster pigments then. Because it is a loss of money to convert it to inks at this point in time.
How are ya? See you soon.
So let's go through and see what we have. We have, well, obviously some enchanting materials. I may as well list up these Darkmoon Dagger Maws. Strange Dust. Yeah, Shadow Gems. Like, you can see how low the value is on these. Oh, sorry. Have a quick question. How do you check the sales on rare stuff? I use Trade Skill Master. Yeah. Humu, if you want like a deep dive into my TSM setup, you're on my second channel, which has my TSM guide if you go to the videos. It is, that's how I set mine up personally, but that's where I get the tooltips. Because you set TSM up with like a desktop add-on, and the desktop add-on literally like imports data into the add-on. So you don't have to scan the auction house yourself. It just auto-updates every hour or so. So it makes it, it's very, very nice. You don't have to spend time doing like auction house scans yourself. And I am saying auction house scans, not scams. Although my N's and M's for some reason on scan is very similar, so I definitely get where that's coming from. Alright, alabaster pigments 2.7k. Let's sell them. Honestly, sell the cloth too. It's like 12 gold. Unironically, like the same prices in Classic is cloth. That's really funny. Oh, Dusky Pigments are up. 25 gold each? Ooh. Massive. Just getting some of these major items up here real quick. I do want to get most of it, and then I guess I'll just sell this Swift Thistle as is. And then test out prospecting the tin. I'm kind of curious about that. Do you have to have the paid version of TSM for that to work? No. So the tooltips and all that, and like auctioning and stuff, you don't need the paid version. Paid version of TSM gives you a couple features online, and it gets you like the great deals search button. So TSM has like, it's scanning for things that are listed for low price. So like if I was a sniper, I might want to go buy this out because it's a great deal. It's like 2 gold, and it has like a market value of 3.4k. So great deals is a premium feature, but that's pretty much it. Like that's the only really one that you would use. You 100% understand my I can't talk right now moments. Started recording yourself for your series. There's some things, especially like when you're looking at numbers, your brain just has to be like, think for a second. All right. What profession is prospecting? It's jewel crafting, right? TSM seems like a thing that shouldn't be legal. It's pretty powerful, but there's definitely like, I feel like the line of legality is less on the information side, because TSM doesn't, it can help things like with like grouping items and information, but it doesn't actually press the buttons for you. That's the big distinction, I think, of what like, where things get into be the like a legal range. It can make pressing the buttons a lot easier, but yeah, it definitely gives you good information.
Pleased to meet you.
All right, jewel crafting, right? Jewel crafting is what prospecting is, right?
Nice.
Nice. That caught me off guard. I may as well prospect here in case I have to train further. Okay, so prospect value on my tin ore. It says 240, so I have 148 tin ore here. It's worth 148 gold right now. Let's see what we get from it. Wait, it really just slangs Mossa Gates? Oh yeah, guys, prospect your tin. We're making bank here. Like we're already profitable on the tin prospecting. Like these are worth like nothing. These are like a gold, but you really want the Mossa Gates, so it really depends on that. Oh, that's good stuff. Because we do get like, so far I feel like Loch Modan is the zone where we've gotten the most out of our tin, the most tin. Oh, it didn't track any of that. We got 368 plus 10, so 378, 384, 385. So we ended up getting 385 divided by 148. We ended up getting 2.6 gold per tin ore. So that's pretty good. It's a lot better than what the auction house sales would be. We might have gotten kind of lucky on the Mossa Gates, though. And to be fair, the prospect value said 2.48, so we got a little bit lucky, a little bit over prospect value at 2.6. Not bad. I should fly back. Well, what profession do I want, actually, before I fly back?
Need assistance?
Well, let me look at the jewel crafting, see what else we can do.
Easy!
That's a little annoying. Yeah. There's nothing really here. For JC. We'll just leave it for now. It is one of those things, though, where because we're getting a lot of low-value materials, it is worth it to process them like we just did. We got our Darkmoon fishing cap as well. Let's go do that. Some quick cash from that bad boy. Mossa Gates with the new arcane crystals. They're the best we got, you know. We're not saying they're the same, but they are the best we got, aren't they? Oops. Yeah, Northern Stranglethorn also had a good amount of tin. Even with the production, though, it still is worth less or about the same as copper unproduced. Copper has a few more things we can put it into, though, which is quite nice. Are our friendly neighborhood rare spawns up yet? Question mark. We're sitting on a freaking gold mine of Darkmoon Faire water now, guys. This stuff though, this stash here is personal use, okay? This is for when we're doing farm routes. I do just want to see if these rare spawns are up though. Looks like Nyx is not up, the Dragonfly rare spawn. Usually bronze is worth more than the copper and tin combined. Yeah, bronze could be good actually. We get so much bard set here, it's crazy. Wow. Wait, these ones are a higher item level. Look at that. The bard trousers we're wearing are item level 24. These bard trousers are item level 74. I'm pretty sure we got these in the same zone. Like, I think we got the bard trousers like last week. We were the same level. That's really weird. Why would these ones be a higher item level? And to be fair, we want the higher item level because if you look, the vendor sell price on the ones we have equipped is 12 silver because they're item level 24. The vendor sell price on the ones to the right, 19 gold. Because they're item level 74, not 24. So, that is strange. That's very strange. The rest of our bards that has a high sell price, but just the trousers don't? Maybe I did get the trousers elsewhere. Maybe I'm mistaken. You know, maybe I actually had the trousers in storage. I don't know if it's possible to roll a low upgrade. I must have had the bard's trousers in storage then, right? There's a lot of weirdness going on though, yeah. In the area in general. Hey, Patherics Gold, just wondering if you can suggest a good way to make some gold. You just recently came back to WoW, and your current highest level is 87, and you have 30k to your name. Okay. I can give you some suggestions. What I would say is, if you're level 87, you're still leveling at midnight. So if you're just getting started gold farming, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting dual gathering, mining, and herbalism. And while you're leveling, just get every single node you see. Start getting caught up on your profession knowledge and apply it into your profession knowledge talent trees. As you go, you'll get more and more efficient, but right now, that's probably your best bet while you're leveling. Even once you're 90, just do a couple extra ore and herb loops in the current content zones. Once you're doing that and you're thinking, okay, I'm getting some gold coming in, what else can I do? At that point in time, you have a lot of options because you have a good base farm. But then you decide if you want to farm more herbs and ores, maybe in other zones, like old world zones. Or maybe you say, let's start transmog farming. And if you want to start transmog farming, that's a whole wide world out there, and you can slowly build up a transmog alt. But I would say definitely start dual gathering, current content. Once you're getting some gold from that, you can make a lot of gold from that right now. Then you might know a little more on what you want to do beyond that. That's what I would say. Yeah, Poncho is making another appearance here, guys. Poncho is checking in. Checking into the stream. Thank you. No worries. Best of luck with your last couple of levels there. Now's a good time. Prices are coming down a little bit, but like start of an expansion is always a good time to make some gold, so should be able to get some good stuff going. Got a nice Darkmoon cub from a Darkmoon Faire daily. Let's go. Probably into the cave we go here. See what's happening. There's some tin ore. We know exactly what we'll do with tin now. Keep an eye on the prices, of course. Tin max? Tin max indeed. These guys are no joke. And they're not dropping their gear though. I would go for another toothpick, masher, or can opener. Mogrash loot. None of the above though, unfortunately. Finish off the rare spawn loop here, double check everything. Is that another Hanzo sword? No, no, no. This is the Rodentia short sword. Where is it? Right here. That's from the Tunnel Rat Scouts, not a Hanzo. Oh my gosh, if it was a Hanzo sword. Whew. To be fair, we haven't sold our first one. Let me see what the prices are on Hanzo swords. No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. It might... I think if I look at Transmog I have listed on my alt, it might show the name. I think. Because it'll say it's listed and it might show the name. Yeah, I'm not going to look at it. Almost had me there. Oh, wow. That was close, guys. What was the region sale average on this one? 0.023. Like, legit. It's 17k. 0.023 average day sold. So it's pretty darn good. It's a good weapon. That's one of the ones that you can't hyperspawn, right? Because it's up here. And the Tunnel Rat Scouts and Tunnel Rat Vermin, which drop it at a 0.07% drop chance, they do not hyperspawn. So you clear them out and wait for them to re-list. Respawn. Check without showing. Yeah, I'm curious now, actually. I can, where's this guy at? One sec. I'm gonna put my camera big, guys. Make my cam nice and large here. Hello. And I'm gonna look on the Hanzo sword here. They're still listed for like 40k, actually. So there's still like good value there. I thought it would go down with like the change in the transmog, but I guess it's still a good, like a good item regardless of the sheathing. But I thought it would drop more. But Yeah, they're currently listed for 40k, the Hanzus. Just did an hour of dual gathering in Herndar and got 21k. That's pretty good. I think prices are coming down a little bit, so anything over 20k. I mean, especially if you aren't fully knowledged out and you can like still get more efficient. That's a win, I would say. So would Poncho, I guess. Awfully quiet in here. In the cave. Awfully quiet. Oh. Nice. So these Raiders bracers, yeah, so these have a high vendor price. The gear here started scaling, like, recently. It wasn't scaling before. Which is really weird. I mean, it's weird, but good for us. Hey, Boo. Boo is checking in. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, Boo. Wanna come say hi? It's a fuzzy guy. What NPC scan add-on is that? Rare scanner. Yeah, rare scanner. Like that. Spelled like that. Hey, Stella also popped in. Sweet. We got some of the new emojis in chat. Love to see it. The fresh off the presses. The pets emojis. Fresh off the presses. Boss, Gal Gosh up. Yes! The Desperado Cape? Not today. Although, I mean, 20 gold vendor is quite good. Pancho. You're okay. Timmy Tech. Greetings, traveler. Hola. Do I pay for Trade Skill Master? I do. So here's the reason I do. I have before. Because I like to use the Great Deals feature a lot for flipping. That's like my preferred way to do some flips sometimes. I used to use it a lot more. But also, I have the premium version so that like when I'm on the online version, like the online desktop app, I get more data, which I like for the videos, so I get better screenshots for like the market value stuff. So I do have premium. Plus, I figure if I'm going to be using it in the videos, it's nice to support Traceco Master for doing it. But I have had it for a while because of the great deals. So. Going for another Rodentia shortsword. This is where we got this one, so we shall see if we get it or not. Birchwood Mall. Like, look at this. This is 37 gold raw. I wonder if like there's an angle to just. Oh, there's Boo. Huh. That is a big boy. Yeah, no, I wonder if there's an angle to, like, just, like, bend or everything. I think the best way to get greens, though, is the rares, and it's kind of like what we're already doing, but, yeah. How profitable is it to hang on to Darkmoon Firewater and sell it 2 to 3 weeks after Darkmoon Faire closes? Just wondering if I have any experience. I haven't done it myself, but anecdotally, it usually goes from, like, mid Darkmoon Faire. You can probably get it for, like, 220 gold. And then it often spikes, at least on NA, up to, like, 270 to 290. So there might be some margin there. Like, 40 gold, potentially. Just maybe, like, 12, 15% margins you might be able to flip. I haven't personally done it, so I think it probably could be quite good, actually, now that you say it. Kaiju says very profitable, so Kaiju might be an Alvin flipper. You might be able to do a similar thing with Darkmoon Daggermaw as well. That's about the same on EU as well. 220 during Darkmoon and up to 270 2 to 3 weeks after. I guess, yeah, you could look at the price graphs. Like if I pull it up on TSM, Darkmoon Firewater, and if I look at like the 1 month graph, I wonder when it was the peak. Why can't I find it? But yeah, what I would say is if you're gonna do that, I would look into the historical info and see when it peaked and when it hit the valley for kind of like what your buy points would be. It's a pretty good margin. If you can repeatedly do it, let's just play out a scenario, guys. Let's assume the average price of Darkmoon Firewater post is like 275, okay? 275. And let's say you can pick it up quite a few for 230 gold, okay? During Darkmoon Faire, when it hits lows, you might have a 45 gold margin, which divided by 230. That's actually like a 19.5% margin. Okay, let's just assume 20% margins then. All right. Let's say you invest 100K. Okay, this month. And then in 1 month, you get your 20% return. Then you have 120K. If you invest that, month 2, again, you reinvest everything. This is compounding, guys. That's month 2. Month 3, month 4 is when you would double. Okay, so every 4 months you double at that rate. How much would you profit if you did this for a year with one of the 100K initial investment? Okay, now we're getting to 8 months. Oops. Uh-oh. There's no backspace? Oh, no. So 350 is 8 months. Okay. Now 11. Times 12. So technically you could take like 100K to 725,000 gold in 1 year. Just flipping Darkmoon Firewater. Theoretically. Yeah. You might want to back out the auction house fees, because when you're compounding like that, the auction house fees, yeah, would actually materially impact it. But, you know, that's also assuming, like, you might be able to sell some for more. Like, I've sold some of my Darkmoon Firewater for 295 gold, so you might be able you know, fudge that a little bit either way with a higher rate. How much is the auction house fee? Isn't it 5%? Our auction house fee is 5%. You could do that, or you could pickpocket frayed knots for 3 months. Precisely. Sorry, bro. I'll leave this guy to quest. I'll leave him to quest. Man, the Loch Modan caves are eerie. Delete on keyboard is backspace on the calculator. Oh, that's nice. Let me just test that out. Oh, it won't work for me because I have delete keybound. Yeah. No, that was theoretical, guys. Like, with flipping, you're going to have varied amounts, and then also near the upper ends, you're going to have troubles getting that many Darkmoon Faire waters for that price, and then selling it. Yeah. 100%. Any black bears with the goods? Don't think so. Alright, guys. A little bit of a shorter stream today just because I got a bit more on the Goldbound episode, which Goldbound episode confirmed tomorrow. But I got to do the auction house clear off stream and finish the editing today, so we're going to do that. We run it back. We'll be live, not live tomorrow, but we'll have the video tomorrow. And then if we do end up doing a sneaky hardcore stream this weekend, then we'll definitely drop it in the Discord. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Mountain Time, with a new Goldbound episode. But speaking of it, we gotta get that bad boy uploaded and scheduled. Okay? Well, thanks for hanging out, everyone, today. Nice, really fun week, guys, of streams. We had some good stuff done this week, so thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all live Monday for sure. Maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see. Until then, go with honor, friend.